Sup, guys? My name is Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Welcome to Coffee Time, your Monday morning discussion video released in the evening. And today's topic is hype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about Breakers of Shadow hype and, where it actually took and when and stuff. And we'll also talk about a few other things. So before I get started, number one, thank you guys so much for always telling me to get well. I feel a lot better now. My breathing may still be a little bit off because of the broken rib. If you've ever had broken rib, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Secondly, I'd just like to also bring up here, because I brought it up on Subscribe Showcase, but I like to reassure the idea that if we can get 10 really awesome, amazing replays, I will put it, and you got to label it when you send it, I will put it into a top 10 featuring you on the channel, and I am dying to do this stuff where basically the top 10 crazy plays or the top 10 amazing plays of the week, and it's something I would love for the channel just to get to this point where we can constantly do it every single week. Not going to completely replace top 10 as a whole, but for 1 week it would, just to get it featured where people would understand what it is, and it's something I've been dying to do, but I need all of your help, and it's a big request. I know it's a big, huge request. So send those clips in at subscribeshowcase@gmail.com. Just label them at top 10, in the subject line. Secondly, more importantly, let's get into this topic. Well, third, let's get into this topic. All right, Breakers of Shadow hype has been real. Boxes are $100. We had to pay, I think, $75 by us, and I think she's already probably gonna mark it up at least to $80, which I know some of you are probably going, "That's a godsend compared to what I had to buy at my locals." See, if you pre-ordered, you got a lot cheaper. That's the one time pre-orders actually worked. That's the one time you should not believe in that pre-orders are bad, that they were actually good. What I'm actually tapping upon is a trivia box, just in case anyone's wondering. I'll take a photo and put it on Twitter. But more importantly, your boy Ryu here was supposed to buy a Breakers of Shadow box. I was going to buy like 2 of them. Something in me told me, hey, there's a lot of hype around the set. And I'm not a person who really believes in hype. I got to believe it, see it kind of thing. I looked at the set, I decided it wasn't right for me, and I pulled out and did something completely left field of me, which is build 2 IRL decks. The second one, I have all the components coming for, which I think I mentioned on Facebook to someone, but I'm going to keep it secret because it's one of the deck profiles that were requested, so I'm just going to put it that way. So it allows me to do something completely different, but what we are talking about is the hype machine, because for 6 weeks, 2 months, somewhere around there, all we've had is hype around this goddamn set, and it's not a bad thing. I don't want anyone to think I'm trying to be negative here, because if I was negative, I wouldn't be doing this, because I would not be having fun with it. I would not enjoy it, and you wouldn't. And as a content provider, let's put it that way, as a content provider of YouTube, I would not want to do something I would not have fun with. I would not want to do something I have no interest in. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! End of the day. I could say, well, this sucks because I would love to see it change because I want the game to be better, but I'm not, trying to put negativity into the game. So no one better think that, because last week we kind of had that, and I was like, what? Anyways, more importantly, on to today's topic without going completely sidetrained there. There's a lot of hype with Breakers of Shadow, and it's well deserved. And Breakers of Shadow will be the main focus of this video when I talk about hype. Going into the set, the prices have dropped dramatically ever since Thursday. I did stock market on Thursday. I said, guys, the prices are still dropping. I think Cyber Dragon Infinity was at like $70 during the time, and it had dropped around $25. The Traptrix Exceed, Raflica, I can never pronounce it right, was around close to 40, and then now it's teetering 20 and under. I mean, it's nuts. Solemn Strike, I think that's the TCG name. Solemn Strike dropped. Everything dropped in the set. But a lot of these so-called money cards just have been a lot easier to pull. And I don't know if you want to count that towards because Konami knew that there'd be a lot of hype around the set, and they said we're going to, hurt the secondary market. I don't want to say it was directly their fault for hurting the secondary market in that sense. I'm actually looking up Cyber Dragon Infinity's price on my tablet device here just to get an actual accurate price here. Because again, when I record this, it may be different than when you guys are watching it. Holy shit, that is a lot cheaper than it's been. Cyber Dragon Infinity, $44.75. Are you shitting me right now? $44.75. I know for some of you are probably like, Ryu, that's $45. That's a huge amount of money. I understand that, but compared to what it was is what I'm getting at. I'm not trying to hype it, which I'm kind of guilty of right there. But there's been a lot of hype around Twin Twister. And I'm probably going to get flamed for saying this one. But it's not an MST replacement. It was never meant to be an MST replacement. Some decks cannot support Twin Twisters. They just can't. A lot of people just scoop it up, throw it in their deck, and then when they realize that, they're like, shit. And that's what it comes down to. There's been so much hype, causing so much demand for the best cards of the set. Twin Twisters, Solemn Strike, Cyber Dragon Infinity, and Pendulum Sorcerer. The 4. 1 super, 3 secrets. And out of those 3 secrets, only 2 of them remain high price. The super is easy to pull to a degree, and it's only sitting around $10. There's been a lot of hype in the set. It's one deck that got hyped a long time ago, and then it just fell off the face of the earth when it came to hype and demand for it. Outside of the players who stayed true to it and were interested in it were Yang Zing. When Duelist Alliance was being released, Yang Zing were the most high-priced thing for like the first week or so. Everyone believed Yang Zing were going to be the next meta deck. Quickly, they discovered that it was Shed Dolls and Burning Abyss. And the fact that Teller Knights were pretty damn decent, but Yang Zing was under all of that. All of it. And I'm not putting down Yang Zing. I'm not. I love the deck. I'm not putting it down. But a lot of that hype is the reason a lot of those prices went nuts. There was a lot of Noble Knight hype. Oh my god, Konami's making this TCG archetype and it's going to be fucking amazing. It never did anything, but it retained value. Why the hell did it retain value? Because there was little demand to the point where people could sell it that way and then no one bitched. If there was, more people selling them, then probably the prices would have been different, but there wasn't as many. It's kind of the same thing you see with Redstone of Legend. That nostalgic support. I need to buy that nostalgic support. But that nostalgic support's not that great. Am I putting down Blue Eyes? A little bit. Because I think we, as a community in general, are a little bit to blame, even myself. I get really hyped about Blue Eyes because I love Blue Eyes. That's just, honest to God, I'm not faking reactions when it comes to Blue Eyes or Dark Magician or all that, original stuff. I'm brought back to a time where I had my grandfather who was like my dad. And having that moment, that clarity to go back to that space of happiness, because a lot of the times now it's a little bit harder than it was then, to have that time when Yu-Gi-Oh was fresh and new and it was shit formats because it was the same thing over and over again. I said it. I enjoy those formats regardless though. But honestly, you didn't have archetypes. You just had decks that, you had cards that were the cards that you needed to buy because everything else was not as good. But I'm reminded of those happy times I had with my grandfather, and he would just sit there and listen over and over and over again about it. About me and my brother, talking about it constantly. And I don't have my brother in my life anymore. So that's also something very special when it comes down to it. And that's besides the point. So I do hype Blue Eyes. That's what I'm getting at. I do hype Blue Eyes because of that. It's because it's pure joy for me. It's honestly, it's like Christmas morning for a kid. And I know for everyone else, Bosch is like Christmas morning. Or maybe it's like Hanukkah or whatever holiday you may celebrate that makes you happy. It's something along those lines. We can all relate to that feeling. And that's what hype, goes into. Like, oh my god, I'm so excited! Pokemon 20th anniversary, I'm buying that 3DS, baby! Same kind of hype. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't buy botch boxes because I felt the hype for that, but I felt more hype for the Pokemon new 3DS because I only have one 3DS. Go ahead, flame me. I said Pokemon on a Yu-Gi-Oh video. I broke the rules. Fuck Konami, I broke the rules. I know you guys like it. I know you guys saw some of you were laughing. Notice me. I think honestly though, as players in general and as content creators for YouTube, some of us do like to overhype things because we get excited about it. And we're guilty of it. We're sorry. Well, at least I'm sorry. I can't speak for everyone. We're sorry. Because we don't want you leaving the game because of our hype machine. Oh my god, Blue Eyes is so broken, I'm leaving the game. That is the most absurd thing, number one, I've ever heard about. Because you flip up Light and Prison Mirror, and Blue Eyes goes, cries in the corner, and just like, you know, has to use Kleenex all over its little white nose. And then Maiden, oh god, she's just on her ice cream fix for 2 weeks because you made her so depressed that you quit the game. And she's just like, I heard you, I'm so sorry. And she's like, you just can't understand her. I went there. Hype is something that allows us to become overzealous about what we want in the game. It allows us to believe in the machine. It allows us to want things that may not be as good really quickly. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's just natural reaction. Because I know Batman and Superman fans who read the comics and, you know, always pictured Batman versus Superman on the big screen, are getting that now, and there was a lot of hype around it. I think for me, either somewhere along the line, I became a little bit wiser with certain things that I'm hyped in. No, I didn't. That's a lie. I still get hyped about shit left and right. Constantly. And it's my own damn fault. I'm not saying it's bad to be hyped about stuff. That's negative. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to talk about, you know, Bosch. And people just like to slap the shit out of me. There's a lot of hype around the set that follows Bosch. Because, hey, Blue Eyes. Who the hell doesn't want Blue Eyes? Some guy raises his hand. Dark Magician! I'm with you while being in Camp Blue Eyes because I like Maiden and Pie. Hype is something that, honestly, you have to see if you could believe in the hype machine for yourself, if it's worth it for you. If it's worth it for you, you grab that box, you shake it, and you hold it, and you rip it open like it's Christmas fucking morning. And you go nuts about it. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of you also shared your pack openings on Sneak or your boxes to me. I want to also just extend my thank you. They were really cool seeing your reactions. Honestly, that would be something I'd like to do on a top 10 as well. But I need your guys' help again. If you guys have Yu-Gi-Oh channels, because the Yu-Gi-Oh Council is meant to be a community thing while also being its own thing, where me at the helm. If you guys have really cool like pack openings, like you want to feature a little clip of, you know, like the craziest reactions to Yu-Gi-Oh pack openings, then you can send them in. I promise I will not insult you. I'll be right there hyping with you. I'll be right there hyping with you. The only thing is though, that you guys have to be cool with it, and we have to tell YouTube it's okay, and then we can do it. That's the only thing. But hype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me know what you think about it. Do you believe in hype? Do you ever fall for hype? Do you ever regret buying something? You shouldn't regret buying anything, in all honesty. You shouldn't regret anything, because if you regret something, that's terrible. You don't want that. You gotta be positive, because no, I'm not gonna go there. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later on for Tech Tuesday tomorrow. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later.